What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Oops. New video. This thing don't want to play. Chingo. Technical difficulties. Anyhow, let's get to the video. Today I want to talk about an incident. Strange little incident that occurred. This is in honor of Cinco de Mayo. And for those of you guys that don't know, please stop saying that Cinco de Mayo is Mexican Independence Day. It's not. It's just the Battle of Puebla, when some villagers and so-called peasants defeated the French army in the Battle of Puebla. The French were supposedly the baddest, some of the baddest ones on the planet. And the peasant Mexicanos defeated them. So that's what Cinco de Mayo is about. But before I get into the video, I want to say, I don't know if there's more than one day, but I know as far as in the California Department of Corrections, Cinco de Mayo is a day where you see more staff on the yard. Hector, let me know, when you were in there, when you were still working, were they still doing, did you notice, at least down there in Centinela and where you worked, did you guys have an extra presence, more security on Cinco de Mayo? Because I remember for a long time it was like that. And there's been a history of big incidents that occurred on Cinco de Mayo within the CDC, as far as the raza getting involved in stuff. And so you always saw a bigger presence. Also, Cinco de Drinko. People drink and, you know. But anyways, I want to start it off like this. I was in B facility, New Folsom. This is 96. And I was Sally's with Pacas. You know, I've mentioned he's been in a lot of my stories. I was Sally's with Pacas. And there was this older gentleman, an older Mexicano, older Mexican man. He moved in. And we lived in a different section than him. He lived in A section. And you know, he was there. He was really quiet. You know, a lot of the paisas, that's how they are. They just do their time. They don't want to go out of their way to interact. They just, they're doing their thing, right? And he was that way. And he was an older gentleman, like I said, right? Well, there was this really, really, really scandalous paisa that used to be right there. He was on the yard crew. Anybody that was there at the time will remember him. His name was Huevon, Paisa Huevon. And I remember he got in some trouble because he saw one of the homies burying his piece on the yard, and it came up missing, and it turned out Huevon had stole it. He got a verbal tongue lashing for it, and he gave the piece up. But he was a really scandalous dude. Like, you could tell he did not like raza that was born here. And they're not all like that. And people would say, that's why, you know, this. Homie, they're not all like that. He was like that. Well, Huevon, and the reason why I use his name, because he wound up getting whacked for his scandalous ass ways. So Huevon approaches my Sally Pacas. And he tells him, hey, you know the older vato that went to your building, right? And he's like, who? And he's like, well, this guy, he's in A section, this and this and that. And my Sally's like, yeah, what about him? And he said, look it, you should really think about putting a Sureño in his cell and having him steal the old man's addresses. Don't let him know. But when he goes to showers or he goes to yard, have them get his addresses and write them all down. He says he's part of that stuff. I don't even like to say the name of it. The stuff in Mexico, right? Part of the drug trade. He's like, that vato has a warehouse that's full of money and we don't know where it is. Nobody knows where it is. He said, but if you put one of your camaradas in the cell with them and they get his daughter's address and they kidnap his daughter, he'll give up every penny he has. And my Sally was like, what? Hey, gracias, all right. And my Sally went and embraced him. My Sally ran me down. Hey, look at this is what this vato was saying. And he was like, fuck that dude, eh? And so he went in and befriended the older dude. And he told him, hey, this is who I am. It's a pleasure to meet you. Anything you need around here, just get at me. You have any problems with anything, just let me know. You're all right. And he's like, all right, gracias. And the old man was cool, quiet, just doing his time. I don't remember how much time he was doing, anything like that. So that was put to the side. He's okay. He's doing his own time. He's a family man. Whatever he was doing on the streets, he's not doing in prison, and that's his thing with his people, right? Now, some time goes by, a little bit of time. I don't remember how long it was later. But we come out to the yard, and I happen to see out of the corner of my eye, I was over there at the table by 5 and 6 block B facility, right? And so in New Folsom, you have the kitchens, all the satellite kitchens. Satellite kitchens there's no big chow hall like you see in the movies. Every 2 buildings, there's a chow hall, a long, narrow chow hall in between every 2 buildings, right? And the truck will come on the yard, and in a lot of places, they don't allow that. Like in Pelican Bay, nope. No, yard is not even coming out until the truck has done his rounds and got out of there. New Folsom, they just shoot you if they have to. You'll be walking the track and they'll say, clear the track for a truck or whatever, right? And you turn around, the motherfucker's already ready to run you over. And they go to every chow hall. So 1 dining, 2 dining, 3 dining, and then 4 dining. Well, 1 dining would be 1 and 2 block. 2 dining is 3 and 4. 5 and 6 is 3. And then 4 is 7 and 8. So the truck's on the yard. I'm over there by the tables in front of 5 and 6 block. The truck pulls up at 3 dining, which is 5 and 6 block. I don't know what was said. I don't know what brought it up. But next thing I know, I see this paisa having an exchange of words with the bulldog. And I see the bulldog go ahead and drop about a 5-piece on him. Right? But the thing is, when the truck is there, the cops are right there watching the truck. So this is Cinco de Mayo, right? And so like I said, this dude gets a fucking 5-piece. Pop, 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 pop. Vato's like, hey, shh. Nah, the Buddha's right there. So the paisa takes off. Boom. When the paisa takes off, I take off. Boom. I go let my Sally and the llavero know, hey, Holmes, this bulldog put hands on a paisa right now. I don't know what's going on. We exchange of words. So, okay, let's go. Boom. So a bunch of us head down to the bottom of the yard where the paisas are at. Hey, what's going on? And I don't remember exactly what happened, but alcohol was involved. The paisa already pulled his piece out the ground, and he's like, I'm killing this dude, eh? So we're like, órale, Cinco de Mayo action. The bulldogs are all grouped up. They're talking. So it was just one of those things. At the time, there was a red light on the bulldogs. Yes, I say red light. Red light means don't move on them. Defense, yes. No offensive moves against them or the Northerners. And basically the llavero said, hey, this is a personal. This doesn't involve the camaradas. It doesn't involve the bulldogs. It involves that man and that man. So as long as they keep it between them two, nobody else needs to be getting involved. So You know, like I said, the paisa's walking around and he's like, I'm gonna get this vato, I'm gonna get this vato. And my Sally's like, what's wrong with this getter? His getter ain't working or what? He's over here with us. That bulldog's over there with them. So next thing you know, that bulldog hits the track, right? We had a couple homies with him, but he hits the track. So I'm figuring he must be strapped or whatever it is. He's hitting the track like, you want it, let's get it, you know? But then we notice, we're like, hey, Holmes, these huras are fucking trailing these dudes. And the huras were getting closer, like moving, trying to play all nonchalant, getting closer to where we were at because that paisa, they saw him piece up the dude, right? So my Sally looks and he's like, hey, Holmes, these huras are following you. You might want to bounce, try to get rid of that because now he can't even bury it, right? So he gets up and he says he wants to use it. He doesn't want to just lose it. He wants to use it, right? But it's not going to happen. Like, a kamikaze can happen anytime, right? But he doesn't move in that direction towards the bulldog. He starts walking. As he starts walking, the yard cops start moving again. And I've never seen that. Usually, they'll just say, yard down. They announce over the PA system, yard down. Everybody gets down, and then they go to who they think's strapped up, right? But I'm guessing because it was Cinco de Mayo, the juras were probably thinking, all of these damn Mexicans might be drunk right now. Let's do this as slick as possible so we don't wind up in an incident with them. I'm assuming. I don't know. But the paisa with the strap takes off. And lo and behold, those of you that have been on to New Folsom, you know, whether it's B yard or C yard, they have big granite stones like embedded in the grass like a bench, right? And the old man happened to be sitting on the rock, the granite stone, just watching the yard, minding his own business, wasn't sitting with anyone. The paisa with the strap walks over. He sees the juras are coming from different directions slowly towards him. He sits down with the paisa, the old man, starts talking to him. And my Sally was like, nah. And he tells me, watch this shit, Holmes. I hope I'm wrong. So we're watching, we're playing off. We're glancing over there. And sure enough, he engages the old man and then does one of the old, hey, trip out on that over there. And the paisa turns his head to look. The dude pulls a knife out of his own pocket, slides it into the OG's pocket, gets up, and walks off. That's when the COs decided to tell him, hey, come here. We need to pat you down. He's like, what? Puts his arms out. They pat him down. He's got nothing on him. And one of the COs says, hey, pat that other dude down he was just sitting with. And we were just like, damn, man. That's fucked up. The old man had no idea. Stands up and he's like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like you could see, he's like, hey, what's happening? They pat him down, pulled a knife right out of his pocket. And he was like, no. And they were like, cuff up. Cuffed him up. He got his first shoe term, possession of a weapon. And all he was doing was sitting there. Why that dude didn't get hit after, I don't know. But that was one of the most scandalous moves I've ever seen. Like, they disliked that man because of what he had on the streets, but he wasn't doing. And I would think it could have just if that dude was really, if he wanted to, everything's a phone call away when you got money like that. And if you got money like that, you had influence. I know this isn't the greatest of stories, but it was a Cinco de Mayo story. I always trip, like I said, every year, and I trip out in this. So every year on Cinco de Mayo on the CDC, I'm over there wagging my finger. How dare I? Every year in the CDC, like I said, I remember extra security, extra staff on Cinco de Mayo. How many of you guys remember Friday the 13th? At least in Paso. I don't know if Nellis was the same. Friday the 13th. Every Friday the 13th in Paso. Extra security. I remember vans would be parked at the ends. Over there by Los Osos West and by Moro, there would be vans. And then by Shalam and Avenal, there would be vans just parked waiting for the shit to jump. In YA, at least in Paso, Friday the 13th, every F gang, every Flores, Florencia, Fontana, it don't matter. Friday the 13th, they had to rush all their enemies. Any enemy they ran into, they had to get off on them. Friday the 13th was different. There was another thing I don't want to say because people are going to be like, yeah, right. But there was another thing where, it could be a very dangerous day. It's a trip, right? Cinco de Mayo on the joint was a more cautious day for staff, and Friday the 13th in the California Youth Authority. That's my video for today. It's sad. Not only is it a Saturday, views are always down on Saturdays, but it's also Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Come on, Mexicanos. We already know. Celebration starts today. Probably goes through Monday. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Me, I plan on watching the Canelo fight. I am a Canelo fan. I hope Munguia puts up a good fight, but I want to see Canelo Benavidez fight. Somehow this needs to happen. Anyways, everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.